Narcissists have low self-esteem, and they're constantly comparing themselves to other people, right? They tend to feel like they're never good enough and that they don't measure up. And this drives them to seek validation and approval from other people. So narcissistic supply, it is the attention, it is the admiration that narcissists need from other people to feel good about themselves. So they get their self-worth from other people. So without this constant validation from other people, they wouldn't be able to function. No, they wouldn't be able to function at all. They often spend their days about how they're going to get with new people to get that validation. So look, the truth is that narcissists, the high self-esteem, this is just a cover for low self-esteem. Yes, it is. They're constantly seeking validation from other people to compensate for their own feelings of inadequacy. One of the most common misperceptions about narcissists is that they have a high self-esteem. And when in reality, most narcissists actually have a very low self-esteem. And it can be confusing to people because narcissists often project this false sense of confidence and superiority. Yeah, you think they're the man, the woman walking in the room, and that they think that too. But it's actually no. It's just an act. Just an act. So look, they crave attention and admiration from other people, and they'll go to great lengths to get it, often at the expense of other people. We know they're manipulative. We already know that, and they use people, and they will use people to serve their own needs. We all who've dealt with them know that. So look, there are a few theories why narcissists develop low self-esteem. One is because they're always comparing themselves to others and falling short. You might be good at such and such and such, but the narcissist is comparing themselves to you and they're not. No, they don't have that talent, but you do. Another theory is that they have this fragile sense of self. They're afraid of being rejected and exposed for who they really are. Now, whatever the reason, narcissists struggle with low self-esteem. Another theory is that they are highly sensitive people. They are sensitive to criticism. They are sensitive to rejection. They constantly need to seek validation from other people. They have fragile egos. We've all heard about that big ass ego. Well, their ego is so fragile that they can't handle any criticism or any rejection. So they are constantly seeking attention and validation from other people. And I mean positive attention. So whatever the reason that they have this low self-esteem, it often leads to them feeling jealous and envious of other people. And oftentimes jealous of their coworkers, of their friends, of their family, of their girlfriend, of their wife, of their husband. But they're showing all this confidence and grandiosity, and the next minute they're being a victim and they need reassurance. So if you have or you have had a narcissist in your life, understanding their fragile high self-esteem is really important. Now, narcissists spend their entire life hiding behind this falsified identity that portrays them as being charming, charismatic, confident, articulate, successful, and unique. When all the while, that's not how they feel about themselves. So the reason they have low self-esteem is because they are focused on themselves. They're wrapped up in their own lives and their own needs, and they don't have any room for anyone else. That leads them to a lack of empathy and a lack of genuine connection. So they feel empty, they feel alone, especially, when they're even surrounded by a whole lot of people. You'll find that you didn't know this narcissist at all because they only gave you surface information. They heard you talk, but they didn't share anything about themselves, even if you've known them maybe all your life. So look, they have low self-esteem because they're comparing themselves to other people. They're looking at their own flaws, their own shortcomings, and they have an unrealistic view of themselves. So self-esteem, it can be viewed as how you value yourself. This sense of oneself can rest on secure foundation, or it can be on fragile, independent validation that comes from somebody else, not from within yourself. So fragile high self-esteem, which is actually low self-esteem, can be distinguished by the following traits: being defensive. You want to be defensive because you're preserving that self-image that you have out there. Validation seeking, they'll need praise, they'll need compliments, they'll need recognition. And if they don't get that, then their self-esteem lowers. It triggers them to need new sources of validation. So if you're not giving them all of that, they'll seek it out, okay? They have an unwillingness to learn from their mistakes. They don't want constructive feedback because if they get it, it'll be a slight against their image. So that will result in defensiveness and unwillingness to accept the feedback. And when they, have a slight, then they need to get revenge on you, vengeful, okay? So look, they may not have been given enough love or attention growing up. They might have suffered some sort of a trauma that makes them feel unworthy to be loved or receive attention. Whatever the reason, the narcissist's low self-esteem can be a contributing factor in their narcissistic behavior. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and come back again to The Real Deal on NPD with Myra.